No Monday Night Football, no problem. Here on the Morning Wager, we've got the NBA and college basketball to talk about. And guess who's talking about it? Well, of course, it's Mark Zinno and I. It is the Morning Wager, but both of us are off 4-0 Sunday sweeps. Yay to us. Fantastic weekend, Mark. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that later on. I know how you hate self-promotion, but I do know that you enjoy talking about Big Ten basketball, and we are going to send it to you. We're going to be covering both games of the FS1 doubleheader tonight. You're up first, actually, with the second game. I'll be doing the first game after you're done. But Ohio State, Minnesota, you're looking at the total. Minnesota, I talked about this one on the Power 5. They don't cover spreads very often. And you think for them to have a chance to cover the spread, it's got to be low scoring.
Yeah, I'm looking at the under 137 here. Now, you look at the outset here. This is two teams where Minnesota is one of the slowest tempo teams in the country. They rank 353rd in possessions per game. And they're not a very good offensive team either. When you talk about their ability to shoot the ball, they're 191st in effective field goal percentage, but they're 300th in three-point shooting, and they're 347th in free throw shooting. This is not a team that is very competent on the offensive end of the floor. So we can look at them and say, hey, this is a team that isn't going to score a lot here. Ohio State excels defensively. We know that. They're ninth in the nation in three-point shooting percentage defense. Not only that, this is a team that is 31st overall in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're 14th in effective field goal percentage defense. So they're going to make it very, very tough for Minnesota to put up any points offensively. Now, Ohio State is a good offensive team, and they sort of live and die by the three. So that'll be the challenge here for Minnesota, is to limit them from a shooting standpoint. But Minnesota's defense is very good inside when it comes to two-point field goal percentage shooting defense. And so as long as they can hang around and not let Ohio State nail a bunch of threes, they should be good. Now, if you look at Ohio State, their two previous road games did not go well offensively for them at all. Right? Last time out, when they played their road game against Maryland, they got rocked. They only scored 58 points in that game, right? Is that what it was? 59 points in that game. And then their previous other road game at A&M earlier this year, they only scored 64. So clearly this is an offense that hasn't been that good on the road. We know what they just did last time out against Michigan State. Only scored 62 against a competent Michigan State defense. So again, I think we get under 137 here between the Buckeyes and the Golden Gophers.
Yep, I was on the wrong side of that one Friday. Zinno with Ohio State. They'd look like they had never run an offensive set in their life, but that is Mark Zinno, still sporting the beard from an undisclosed tropical location that he may or may not be leaving soon. We're not going to talk about that. But anyway, smash that like button. Do it twice if you are rolling with Zinno and the under on Ohio State, Minnesota. Now, before that game tips off on FS1, we're going to have Rutgers and Wisconsin. As luck would have it, Mark Zinno, I was on the college basketball tip-off show last Thursday with my good friends Adam Trigger and Joe Ranieri, and Trig pointed out, if Rutgers loses to Indiana, he said this, their next game, that just feels like a classic Bryan Power buy low spot, and Trig did not know how right he would be. Now, Dylan Harper missed that loss to Indiana with an illness. He is expected back tonight. In his absence, Ace Bailey, their other outstanding guard, he scored 39 points against Indiana, but wasn't enough. Scarlet Knights go down 84-74. Tonight, though, they're back at the rack, where they are always tough. They have not lost. They are hosting a Wisconsin team. Okay, we're going to buy low on Rutgers, and what are we going to do with Wisconsin? We're going to sell high. Do you know what they did in their last game? They made a Big Ten record 21 threes and then set a program record, not tied, set a program record for most points scored in a conference game with 116 as they absolutely boat raced Iowa. I don't think Wisconsin's going to have that kind of shooting on the road. Call me crazy. I think it's big time regression from the Badgers, who are 0-2 straight up in true road games. Yes, those were against very good teams, Illinois and Marquette, but Rutgers, we always know they can defend, especially at home. This number is hit 2. Now, I'm taking the 2, sprinkle a little bit on the money line as well. Scarlet Knights, that's my half of the double play to go along with Zinno, who's got you covered in the late game with the under on Ohio State and Minnesota. We will be getting to our best bet momentarily, which is in the NBA. But first, Zinno and I are going to take another victory lap. At least I will, off the 4-0 Sunday. 7-1 weekend for yours truly. 14-4 all sports run. Ohio State on Friday was one of those 4 losses, but we're going to celebrate those 14 wins a little bit more. And there is still time, guys, to get down on this incredible deal we've got going on at WagerTalk.com. You buy a 90-day all access, we're going to give you an extra 30 days free of charge. That gets you 120 days through the Super Bowl, Zinno, through March Madness, through the NBA regular season, through most of the soccer season as well, which I know always excites you. I know you've got something already locked and loaded for Monday, and talk to the people about what you're doing, man. What's going on? I know
By the way,
it's a great weekend for me. It was a great weekend for you. It was a great weekend for America, dare I say.
Only when the morning wager is rolling well is it a great weekend for America, because we are bringing those in need what they need. No, we did have a very good weekend. 7-2 since Friday, so we've been really, really hot, which has been great. And we're starting to get locked in on college hoops too. Part of that was a 3-1 college hoops weekend, so very good there. Now, I will say this much. Remember way back when, in the early inception of the show during baseball season, I had some consternation with the leaderboard. My name has appeared up there again. I don't have anything to say negative about the leaderboard, but every now and then my name pops up on that thing, and I just want everybody to take a note that 7-2 in the NBA over the last 30 days, pretty good. We dip our toe in slowly, and my play tonight is in the NBA. So WT.buzz/MZ, and coincidentally, we also have a play in the NBA for our show Best Bet.
We do. The Orlando Magic, my God, this team is the walking wounded. Their 4 best players are out. They've been without Banchero for a while. Both Wagner's, Franz and Mo are out. Yes, and both Ludwig van Beethoven may be starting at point guard tonight. I don't know. Jalen. Yeah, well, you know who's not playing for the Magic tonight? Jalen Suggs. He's hurt too. How is this team going to score points, Mark Zinno, against the New York Knicks team, which has had its issues defensively, especially guarding the 3? They just gave up 139 to the Chicago Bulls last time out.
Yes.
So what are we going to do with the Knicks this time? They're going to turn it around defensively against a team with no one to score. I
mean, look, the Knicks have lost their last 2 games on the road, right? And particularly when you give up that many points, that's not going to make Tibbs very happy, right? Because he is a defensive-minded coach at his core, and so I expect the Knicks to come home and have a very spirited effort on both ends of the floor. This is the 4th time they're playing the Magic already this season. In fact, it's a final regular season meeting between the 2 teams. The Knicks have won all 3. In 2 of those 3, they have given up less than 100 points to the Orlando Magic. Here is the kicker for me. The Magic have lost 16 games this year. 11 of those losses, they failed to break 100. Over the last 2 months, the Magic have lost 10 games, and they have only scored 100 twice in those 10 games. So let's just try to figure out a way. I don't want to lay double digits with the Knicks, with the total being this low and both of these teams being slow in pace. I don't really feel like that's a great spot to do it with the Knicks. I don't like their team total, because if the pace is that slow and the Magic are as bad offensively as we expect, the Knicks don't even have to score a lot to get over that number. So let's just go the other way and take the Magic team total under 99.5. So as long as Orlando doesn't get to 100, we're going to cash a ticket.
That is your show Best Bet. Comment down below with your thoughts on that one, on either of the plays we gave out in college just a couple minutes ago. Let us know what you're betting on Monday. It's a short slate, but we always enjoy hearing from you, especially when you tell us how good we are. And on that note, if you haven't smashed that like button already, I have one question for you. What's your problem? Okay, we've given you 3 free plays. And make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That is my cue. That is our cue. We'll see you Tuesday. Until next time, let's cash the tickets.